The jagged limestone cliffs of Cape Manzamo, where the grass is a vibrant, manicured green against the churning sapphire of the ocean. A sleek, silver Grand Tourer winds along Route 58, its reflection shimmering against the glass facades of hillside boutiques. You are the connoisseur of contrast, the traveler who demands both the silk of a five-star suite and the salt of a wild shore. Why settle for ordinary when Onna Village offers a world where the horizon is your personal concierge? The sprawling architecture of a multi-tiered resort, its white balconies tiered like a modern hanging garden over the beach. Palm trees sway in perfect synchronization, their shadows stretching long across a sand that looks like crushed pearls. The water transitions from a pale, translucent mint at the shore to a regal navy at the reef's edge. You have arrived at the epicenter of upscale living, where the architecture serves only to frame the majesty of the sea. A lobby of towering glass and dark mahogany, where the air is scented with sandalwood and blooming jasmine. A waterfall feature trickles musically in the center of the room, reflecting the sunlight that pours through the high ceiling. Beyond the glass, an infinity pool seems to pour directly into the ocean, creating an illusion of limitless blue. On a private balcony where a chilled bottle of local craft awamori sits beside two crystal glasses. In the background, the sun begins its descent, turning the clouds into streaks of violet and gold. The interior of the suite is a minimalist dream, featuring hand-woven ryukyu textiles and furniture carved from local cedar. The white sand beach of Tiger Beach, where a couple walks through the shallow surf as the water bubbles like champagne around their ankles. In the distance, a private yacht anchors near the reef, its white hull glowing against the darkening water. The scene is one of absolute tranquility, a postcard's come-to-life moment of leisure. A high-end restaurant where a chef is searing local lobster on a hot iron plate, the steam rising in elegant plumes. The dining room is open air, allowing the sound of the distant surf to mingle with the clink of silverware. Guests are dressed in light linens, their faces glowing with the ease that only comes from true rest. This is the gastronomic heart of the Golden Coast, where the flavors are as sophisticated as the surroundings. A private boat leaves the resort's pier, the engine humming a low, powerful vibration that resonates through the deck. The wake of the boat creates a trail of white foam that glitters under the rising moon. Ahead, the dark silhouette of the coast looms, punctuated by the glowing lights of the cliffside resorts. The reef at night, where bioluminescent plankton flicker like tiny stars in the dark water. The coral structures look like alien castles, their colors muted but their shapes sharp and intimidating in the torchlight. Above, the surface of the water is a shimmering ceiling of silver, reflecting the moonlight back into the deep. A moray eel peeking from a crevice, its eyes reflecting the diver's light with a predatory glint. The reef is a busy nocturnal highway, filled with creatures that never see the light of day. You feel a surge of adrenaline as you navigate the narrow canyons of the coral, your breath the only sound in the vast silence. A forest of sea fans waves slowly in the current, looking like delicate lace made of stone. A school of silver fish darts past, their bodies catching the light like a shower of coins. The depth is intoxicating, a sensory overload of blue and black that stretches your perception of space. You realize that true luxury is the ability to access these hidden realms with total confidence.
Morning arrives on the Golden Coast with a clarity that feels like a high-definition photograph. The sun rising over the Motobo Peninsula, casting long, sharp shadows across the turquoise lagoons. The beach is empty, the sand smoothed over by the night's tide like a fresh canvas.
A group of divers prepare their gear on a rocky ledge, the sea spray dampening their suits. Below them, the entrance to the cave is a dark maw in the cliffside, surrounded by churning white water. The contrast between the bright, hot sun and the dark, cool water is a physical shock to the system. You are part of this elite circle of explorers, ready to descend into the heart of the limestone. The water at the mouth of the cave, where the light begins to change from white to a deep, electric neon. The walls of the cave are covered in ancient barnacles and moss, creating a textured, organic hallway. As you swim deeper, the tunnel narrows, the ceiling pressing down as the water becomes incredibly still. Enters the blue room, and the visual is a staggering explosion of azure light that seems to radiate from the water itself. The ceiling of the cave reflects the dancing ripples, creating a kaleidoscope of sapphire and turquoise on the rocks. It is a silent, glowing cathedral, a natural wonder that feels like a sacred space. On your eyes through the mask, wide with awe as you absorb the impossible light. Around you, the other divers are still, as if they are afraid to break the spell of the chamber. The silence is absolute, a profound quiet that seems to vibrate with energy. You realize that this is the ultimate luxury, a moment of pure, unadulterated wonder that cannot be bought or sold. The calm water starts to surge, a sudden current pulling you toward the back of the chamber where the rocks are sharp and jagged. This isn't a storm, it's a shift in the tide that has trapped a large, mysterious creature in the tunnel with you. You see a flash of a tail, huge and powerful, disappearing into the dark recesses of the cave. The panic of the bubbles rising as the divers scramble to find their orientation in the darkening water. The elegant azure glow has been replaced by a murky, turbulent gray as the silt from the floor is kicked up. You feel the raw power of the ocean as it tries to push you deeper into the mountain's throat. You have to find the exit before the light fails completely. You push against the current, your lungs burning as you regulate your breathing against the fear. You see the shadow again. It's a massive whale shark, disoriented by the tide and seeking the same exit as you. The scale of the creature is terrifying in the confined space, its spotted skin brushing against the cave walls. You are inches away from a leviathan, a collision that could be fatal in these narrow tunnels. The moment you and the whale shark reach the mouth of the cave simultaneously, the creature surges forward, its massive tail creating a vortex that nearly knocks you into the rocks. You see the light of the surface again, a brilliant, blinding white that signals safety. With one final powerful kick, you break through the entrance and into the open sea. Breaks the surface, and the world is suddenly loud with the sound of gulls and the crashing surf. You gasp for air, the sun feeling like a warm hand on your head as you float in the swell. The luxury yacht is waiting nearby, its crew already moving to pull you from the water. You look back at the cliff of Cape Manzamo, which looks so solid and indifferent to the drama that just occurred within it. Back onto the deck of the yacht, where you are wrapped in a heavy white towel and handed a glass of ice water. Your hands are shaking slightly, but your eyes are bright with an incredible, wild energy. The crew is silent, sensing the magnitude of what you just experienced in the cave. You look out at the coastline of Onna Village, the luxury resorts now looking like tiny toy houses against the vastness of the sea. Moves to the resort spa. The scent of eucalyptus and lime fills the room, and a soft, traditional Sanshin melody plays in the background. The contrast between the terrifying cave and this absolute comfort is the essence of the Onna experience. A plate of delicately sliced sashimi, served on a piece of polished coral. You are sitting at a private table on the beach, the sand cool beneath your feet as the moon rises. The ocean is calm again, a vast, dark mirror that hides its secrets well. Reflection in a glass of champagne as you toast the horizon. You are the protagonist who has seen the heart of the blue and returned to tell the story. You are now the master of the Golden Coast, a traveler who understands that true leisure requires a touch of danger. The sleeping resorts of Onna Village, their lights twinkling like a fallen constellation along the shore. The night air is still, the only sound being the rhythmic shush of the tide against the sand. You are standing on your balcony, looking out at the spot where the blue cave hides in the dark. You feel a sense of kinship with the island, a secret understanding that the other guests don't possess. A local fisherman casting a net into the moonlit surf, the mesh looking like a silver spiderweb. He is a part of the old world that exists alongside the new luxury, a reminder of the island's enduring roots. You watch him and realize that the Golden Coast is a place of many layers, from the billionaire's villa to the fisherman's hut. Each layer is connected by the same turquoise water and the same limestone cliffs. Morning breaks with a soft, misty rain that turns the jungle behind the resorts into a steaming, emerald wall. The hibiscus flowers, their petals heavy with water, looking like drops of blood against the green. The island feels intimate in the rain, a private conversation between the sky and the sea. You are heading back to the airport, the drive along Route 58 feeling different than when you arrived. The boutiques and cafes look smaller, more like temporary stage sets against the backdrop of the eternal ocean. The entire Onna coastline from a departing plane, the turquoise reefs visible even from thousands of feet up. The island looks like a jewel set in a ring of white sand and deep blue water. You see the tiny white specks of the resorts and the dark shadow of Cape Maeda. A single star-shaped grain of sand stuck to your luggage, a microscopic souvenir of the Golden Coast. Your leisure is no longer passive. It is an active engagement with the wonders of the world. You are ready to face the city again, armed with the silence of the sea. A close-up of a photo on your phone, the moment the light hit the water in the cave. It is a digital artifact of a spiritual experience, a blue flame that you can carry in your pocket. Onna Village is the master of this balance, a place where the refined meets the wild. You are already planning your return, not for the sweet, but for the blue. The faces of people in the airport, noting the difference between their frantic energy and your calm presence. You are a carrier of the island's frequency, a walking sanctuary in the middle of the crowd. A final, lingering look at the sea through the terminal window, the blue stretching out to meet the sky. Onna Village is the ultimate destination for those who want to live life at the edges. It is a place for the high achiever to stop achieving and start being. A hibiscus flower falling onto the surface of a pool, creating a single, perfect ripple. It is a visual metaphor for the impact the island has had on your life, a gentle touch that changes everything. The horizon line one last time, where the blue of the sea is indistinguishable from the blue of the sky. It is an image of total unity. The Golden Coast is no longer a place on a map, but a state of mind. The empty suite you just left, the morning light hitting the unmade bed and the abandoned glasses. It is a scene of beautiful departure, the quiet after the storm of experience. The whale shark diving deep into the navy blue water, its spots fading like distant stars. It is the final image of the wild that defines Onna, a reminder of the giants that live beneath the luxury. You realize that the island's true wealth is its biological majesty. The sunset reflecting in a glass of water, the orange fire held in a clear vessel. It is a summary of the entire trip, the wild energy of nature contained within the refined structures of man. You have found the harmony you were looking for. Pulls back further and further until the island is just a green speck in the vast, shimmering blue of the Pacific. The scale of the world is restored, but your place within it feels more secure. You are a small part of a massive, beautiful whole. A pure electric blue, the exact shade of the cave's light. The final sound is the slow, deep breath of a diver, followed by the sound of the ocean's heart. You came for the luxury, you stayed for the mystery, and you left with the gold. The Golden Coast is now within you.